go. What's going on, y'all people? Thank y'all for tuning in again. Man, today we got a special guest in the building. I'm talking about this really is Big Brother for real, like the homie for real, for real. Like, you know, and one of my favorite top producers ever I've heard.
Come on, man.
And if those of y'all don't know, let me give you a little background of just some of the hits that he got going on, right, that he has produced in the past and some that's going on now. This is one from Kevin Gates that he produced years ago. Of course, August Alsina, The Ghetto. And I love this. You know, of course, that was a big one right there. Right now, he got a song with Trapboy Freddy. One of them is Every Time. Rocco, Why. I mean, the list goes on. Some locally here, Don't Sleep on Me, Overthrow, Money Game, Scotty. You see what I'm saying? The list goes on. Scrape Games featuring Big Yavo. Down Right Now. That's August Alsina. Got one with OTMG and Mo 3. Yeah, and of course, y'all know here locally, y'all know this is one I like this one right here. That one here, Young Pippi.
That's my brother, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Brother Pip.
And we got Soldier Boy, Ocean Gang Splash. The list just goes on. The Curb with Cash Out featuring Gucci Mane, and then Plies and Billy Blue redid the same song on the same beat. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Then we got Boosie and Webby Hip Hop Parade. You see what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Y'all give it up, man, for my boy Knucklehead Samuel Irving, man. Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you being here, man. This is a huge one, man. This one thing I say, you earned yours because I didn't like you just because you was from Texarkana. Mm-hmm. I picked up the sound and I was like, man, whoever this guy is, he really bringing it. And then later on, I found out you was from Texarkana, so I was like, man. This dope, man.
Yeah, man.
So, man,
yeah,
I'm really glad you stopped through, man.
Man, you know I had to come through and show you some love.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, man, for sure.
Man. I've been watching. You know, we talk.
You
know what I mean?
We really do.
We talk a lot. So, but just to be able to come here and, sit down with you and bless the show, man. It's a pleasure, bro.
Oh man, hey man, appreciate that, man. A lot of people don't know, how much we could barely even start the interview because we got so much that we get into and we discuss. A lot of people don't even know before this even came into making. This is who I was consulting. We was talking about it.
Fact.
We was talking about like how I need to put this together and this and that, and I actually put it piece by piece, and it's turning out pretty good, man.
On some natural conversation, bouncing ideas. I'm just proud to see this room, this building, because it came from a thought. You know what I mean? So
it really did.
Just to see what you've done and what you're doing. This is the beginning. And I know what you're about to do. So, but just in our just normal, regular conversations, bro. Just
for sure.
Like I always would tell you, bro. Like I didn't have nobody to tell me what to do.
Right.
Like, man, I kind of had to build everything brick by brick.
Right.
And I bumped my head a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it wasn't nobody there for me to lean on when I started.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everything I did was just from faith.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I dropped out of college and went straight to making beats. And I always tell that story, like, when I dropped out of college, It was the Hip Hop Summit. I went to TSU, Texas Southern, in Houston or whatever.
Okay.
So historical, HBCU.
For sure.
And this was 2003, I think. And Kanye, he came to our school. This was right when the college dropout was dropping. Like he was kind of on his promo run with Through the Wire and the College Dropout album, and it was just he came in the gym and performed, and afterwards he on his normal Kanye, he stopped the music and did like a little quick, as they call it, a rant now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he was like, man, use college, don't let college use you. And I started thinking to myself, I'm just watching him. I'm like, man, maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing, because I already kind of had a love for it.
Yeah.
Shout out to my cousin Scrooge, Shelby Irvin, Shelby Jr. But like he had this keyboard. I think it might have been a Casio. I think.
Yeah.
And man, every time I would come over, even when I was visiting from school, I would start making my own little beats on there, and I'm just like, man, that's all I wanted to do when I came to town. And I just started thinking about what Kanye had said, watching his career starting to blossom, and he preaching this whole college dropout, and so I'm like, man, maybe this is what I need to be doing,
right.
Man. So, that's what I did, bro. It's crazy.
It's crazy even saying that, because it's like, in the reality of life, it's like, you can do good things, but is it really your purpose? Like,
right.
is it really something you love to do? And one thing I've learned is that when you do things you love to do, it ain't even hard.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? And somebody can do, a lot of times the reason why the obstacle sometimes is hard, because you trying to do something outside your purpose.
Yeah, and that's a fact, bro. And I truly agree with all of that. Because, I mean, even at the time, I couldn't keep a job when I was young.
Right.
I'm just like, man, I tell my mom, like, man, I be trying. I just can't. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, man. And it just always seemed like I gravitated towards music more and more.
Right.
A new opportunity or something would happen for me to continuously walk through that same door. But I couldn't hold on to a job for shit, man.
Right there, what you saying, that was kind of like what was going on with me. I tried McDonald's, Burger King, all these different places.
Right.
And it's like, somehow I would end up in a place where I'm like, I'm losing the job somehow. Mm-hmm. And then right when I had landed a good job, and then I got let go from that, and I'm like, what I'm supposed to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. What's going on, bro?
So it was like, our obstacles in life, even though it might be difficult, is God actually set them up to push us towards our purpose.
I totally agree. And I mean, like I say, it was crazy when I got to college. Me and my bro Steve Wade, shout out to Big Wingo, man. But me and my boy Steve, we went to Texas Southern together. So we were under the impression when we got there, we were supposed to be roommates or whatever. Yeah. So, but for whatever happened, he got put in the room next door to me instead of in my room. So, I'm all down like, damn, man, we supposed to be roommates and all that. Even though we on the same, like he's literally right next door, but going into a new world like that kind of had you like, damn, bro. Like, so, but it just was crazy because I always trip now when I always think about like the room he got put in, his roommates, one was a DJ, and the other, his brother, this is my boy Mike and Dusty, Coconut and Dusty Barnes, or whatever, but they both from Port Arthur, Texas. Yeah. So one was a DJ, that's Mike, and then Dusty was the producer. So shit, now I'm in their room, I got every reason to go see my boy every day.
Yeah.
But they in there mixing and one making beats every day. So, you know, naturally I gravitate to the music or whatever. And I'm just like, now I'm on, what is that, PC DJ. He had that app or whatever. And so I'm in there chopping and screwing my own little CDs and got something to listen to on my little Walkman.
For sure.
That's how I'm telling my age, talking about a Walkman and shit.
Yeah.
But, I'm, you know, making my own little chopped and screwed mixtapes.
Yeah.
You know, that I did myself. And then naturally just sitting in that room, I'm watching Dusty make beats and I'm just like, okay, it's, you know, this shit done followed me again, once again, you know, so it was just, I felt like God was steady putting it in my face once again, you know, like, because we could have easily been roommates and I would have never probably, you know, knew them the way I do, you know what I mean? So, but they're my brothers to this day, man.
And that's what's up.
For real. You know, but
so,
go ahead, my bad.
So what was that moment when, like, you know, when you really like saw that, like, okay, this really could be it for me?
All right. It's funny.
Yeah.
You know, my boy John, one of my roommates was from DC. My boy Calvin. You know, he from DC. Then all his buddies, you know, all the other freshman guys coming in or whatever, he you know, naturally gravitating to the DC guys. So one of this dude, my boy Jonathan, Johnny 5 or whatever, he made beats too. Yeah. He was making beats on Sony Acid. So I'm basically at his spot every day making beats over there with him. And so, you know, we start making beats and I end up selling one of my beats. It was just this little guy from New Orleans. He popped up, and he was a Christian rapper.
Yeah.
But he came over and he bought a beat. You know, he heard it. We heard one of the beats I was making, and he's like, "Hey, bro, don't play no more. I want to buy that one." And you know, this at the time I'm working at the airport at this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, at Bush out there in Houston or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just like, damn, you know, I'm like, bet. You know,
yeah,
you bought a beat from me for $80.
Right.
My first beat I ever sold was $80, and that's when I started like, okay, if I can make basically a stranger, if I can make him feel like, hey, I want to buy that beat from him. He's spending his hard-earned money, whatever, and want to spend it with me.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I think I might got some, you know, and that's what made me start to focus on my craft a little more, you know what I mean?
Ain't that amazing, though, going to what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Like, even when I find my purpose in doing, like, little music, but mainly, like, videography and stuff, people be like, man, how much you charging? I'm like, I love doing it so much, I don't even know what to say.
I didn't even know what to charge them.
Exactly.
I swear I know where you're going.
So when people be like, how much you charge? I'm like, shoot, I'm doing it for free because I love it.
I love to do it.
I didn't realize, like, I could make money doing this.
I know exactly what you mean.
So yeah, I can attest to the feeling you had at that moment, like looking like.
Shit, I don't even know what to charge.
Exactly.
You know, I'm just like, I just threw a number out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, 80.
Yeah.
Bit. Cash me out, track the beat, and then. Like I say, that's when I kind of knew that I might be walking into what I need to do. You know what I mean? But,
and you know what's so crazy about college? When you hit that purpose mark in your life, you be like, why am I doing this then? Like,
that's why, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
I was like, okay. But I'm happy. Like I always tell my kids, you gotta go at least for a year.
Yeah.
Because you might find yourself in that year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you might have thought you had life figured out before you actually go away. You leave the nest and you know, you gonna go find yourself, I feel like.
For sure.
Shit, that's all I did. I mean, like I say, man, I went to school for, 3 years? 2.5, 3 years, and I dropped out because by that time I knew what I'm trying. Even though I was going for marketing, I'm kind of like just the little networking I'm doing in my classes and the conversations we having out of class. I'm kind of like, okay, I think I might. We always think we got to figure it out, but I'm like, okay, I think I might have this shit kind of figured out. I know what I kind of want to do. You know what I mean? So, like I say,
you know what's so crazy about marketing and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. You can go to school and get a degree, and by all means, if you do, go ahead and do it. But in the reality I've learned,
that shit don't mean nothing.
When you know the right people,
that's all that matters. That I was just about to say. I know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I could have graduated with a marketing degree and still been working at Taco Bell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm just being honest, just because what would have done for me, even though I'm kind of like, all right, I know this is before I even knew what my path was.
Right.
But I'm just like, okay, what is this really gonna do for me for real? So
because I've been in situations where I'm like, I'm really trying to do this, and like then I come across a person that like who I am, and they the real plug.
They the plug. Yeah.
They like, okay, you ain't even got to do all that. I'm gonna slide you right in.
You my boy.
Exactly, because I've seen it. Like for instance, my daughter, she just graduated high school.
Great.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. So she got a friend. They live way out, nice house. I mean, top tier.
Yeah.
So I pulled up and I'm like, man, this a big, nice house. How you know these people? So I pulled up, I'm talking to the dude. I'm like, man, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I actually used to be a principal. And I'm like, bruh, principal don't get money like they don't get this, bruh.
Yeah.
Tell me what. He was like, well, I taught construction for a whole lot of years, and I built this house. I was like, hey, you my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, you built this. And he was like, yeah, I didn't pay nothing near what all these people pay.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it's really people that be knowing the shortcut, the real way to do it.
It's a shortcut to everything.
Exactly.
And like I say, we live in that type of world. It's just all about who you know.
So when you do it the way the world wants you to do, it's almost like it puts you behind.
You get put behind because it's going to put you in debt.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because unless you in the medical field, you're not just going to jump right out and find a job.
No.
Or maybe, accounting or something, of that nature or whatever. But, man, you ain't finished. What is marketing? What am I,
It's really a cold game out here because, like, for instance, they starting to send student loan papers in the mail for my daughter. I'm ripped. Nah.
Yeah, nope. Yeah.
Because, see, how you going to go, then you got to pay that. That's going to take away from you learning.
Yeah.
The debt is going to take away.
Stress you.
It is.
Yeah,
exactly.
The debt going to stress you. And that's why I say it's like, that's why I want my kids to do a year.
Right.
College. Go do a year. Figure your life out. If it's not for you, then it's time to learn a skill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to get paid 10 times faster than that. Unless you go into medical, something of that nature, medicine, any of that type of, hey, God bless you, because you're going to find something.
Right.
But, man, if you're about to just go in there and waste your time, trying to do some business administration, man, you can go get a...
And then you know what's so crazy? At first, I wanted to be EMT, like be in the field of in the ambulance, or firefighter, and I'm like, so this the type of person I am. I skip the middleman. I go direct.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it looking like right now?
Yeah.
They ain't even making no money for real.
Nah.
I'm like, the when I was trying to go, man, EMT was making $14 an hour, and I'm like, and you got to go to school for that?
School for $14?
Man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to the end of the rope, it's like, Oh, I got played.
Nah, it's the biggest scam next to insurance. It's
it really is.
Telling you, you know, like I said, it's just all of what you go
Yeah,
for.
right.
But I
right.
was always like, I was a Cameron. I'm still a Cameron fan.
For sure.
Dipset, all that when I was in college or whatever, and you know, I'll put it like this: with Kanye was already talking about doing the dropout shit, and then it was a song. I can't think of the name of the Cameron song, but at the beginning of it, he was like, "Man, I want a Lambo. I don't know. I don't want to go to college, get a degree just to get out and make a job making 50, 60 a year. I want a Lambo."
You brought up an excellent point because this
mean?
is the way I've looked at life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a natural person.
Yeah.
When I see a person driving a Lambo, I go ask them, "Hey, what? How you get that?
What you do?"
Exactly.
Yeah. Like
that's
what
I
you do.
do.
Nah, I'm with you on that.
Because when you think about it, how can people teach you something
that I don't know or like?
And they ain't got it themselves. Like, how they gonna teach you? You gonna sit up under them, and they gonna teach you how to achieve something that they don't even have.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it must don't work because it didn't work for you.
It didn't work for you. Exactly.
So that's the way I look at life. I'm
Cameron
like,
ruined me.
Exactly.
When he said that in that song, I'm like, boy, I'm talking about the bing. The light bulb went off in my head, like, nigga.
And you know what's so crazy? What I've learned about life is, when you really want that stuff, it don't be as hard on some things as you think it be.
Nah.
Like, one of the biggest things that people don't know, credit is the big...
Oh, boy.
Credit is like the biggest thing.
You gotta have it.
It's like the biggest thing you need to... And they don't ever teach you that.
That's all I care about right now.
Right.
And that's it. Like, at the end of the day, them be the best emails to receive. It's, hey, your credit score went up 20
Bro,
points.
when you got good credit, you can walk anywhere. Mm-hmm. Go in anywhere.
Yep.
And you can leave with what you
want. Yeah.
I've done it.
Ain't the money.
The money does...
Yeah.
They
the
don't
money
even,
is secondary, honestly.
Exactly. Because if you got something about your reputation or yourself that says that if we give you money, you're gonna pay us back. Everybody gonna give you money.
Yeah. That's a fact. Loan or whatever.
Exactly. So it's like, we know you're going to pay. So that's what they should be teaching. I be trying to tell them.
I don't be wanting to know shit about Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Like in school, why we need to know why Thomas Jefferson did this
what does that
Washington?
Even matter?
Teach us some economics, some financial literacy.
Exactly.
Something of that nature.
We learning about Thomas Jefferson, and we learning about the Greek Egypt wars. Bro, none of that matters.
Teach us how to goddamn save some money, how to pay our taxes.
Yeah.
Teach us that, you know, because it's a lot of, I know I was one of them. You got to figure out, once you get some real money, you got to pay that shit. You got to pay a portion of it back to the government.
Exactly.
I didn't know that shit coming out of high school or,
exactly.
I'm being honest. I'm like, boy, they wasted our time.
Right.
Teaching us all this extra shit. Man, I'm with you on that. I say that when I'm even just looking at my kids' homework. Like, why they need to know about?
I know I be doing the work. I be looking at the work. I'm like, this don't even matter. Look, I got this electric bill. You know what I'm saying? I got this electric bill due. None of this finna help pay that. You know what I'm saying?
That shit don't matter in the real world.
Exactly.
Man, ain't nobody, if you short on your electric bill, they ain't gonna ask you about Thomas Jefferson.
Exactly. You can't go get a world history book and go down there and say, they taught me this. Bro, they coming to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Man. So it's crazy how it is. So, man,
I totally agree.
Your biggest hit, your first biggest hit, how did you start getting into the industry?
Man, so let me see. How did I start getting into the industry?
I know we was talking about Soulja Boy.
Yeah, so, I felt like, okay, when I dropped out of, not high school, but out of college. When I dropped out of college, I came back to Texarkana.
Yeah.
And I had a goal, in mind, more so like, okay, because I'm at this time I'm going 100 miles per hour making beats or whatever in Houston and shit. But I was just running into so many dream sellers and you know, niggas, I can do this for you. Excuse me, I can do that for you, this for you, and you know, I'm like, man, I'm over this because over time now I can always say no. Like, you know, when somebody come to you and tell you they can do this or they can help you, run from them. I'll tell any nigga, run from them type people because they finna fuck you over some type of way, or you know, they just trying to piggyback off you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, you doing all the work. I'm just gonna sit back and act like I got it all figured out. And a lot of niggas fall for that. So I wouldn't want to be
vulnerable.
They just be vulnerable. Just help.
When
you want the help.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you can get me to the next level. Or man, so I end up coming to Texarkana, and it was crazy, bro. Like when I got back, I'll backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So I remember I came home one summer and you know, I had you remember my old Pro Sound magazines that had all the equipment and shit in it.
For sure.
So I'm like, damn, well, I'm looking at, I had the Phantom, what was that? The A. It was something, it was the XA or something like that before I got my G6 or whatever. But the first one, I'm looking at the drum pads and everything. It light up, it just looked cool and shit. So I'm like, man, I want this keyboard. So for whatever reason, I called Pro Sound Magazine just to ask them, you know, a few questions about it or whatever. And somehow, I don't know how, but they ran my mom's credit. My mom's credit was A1.
Dang.
Nigga, they just sent the keyboard. I didn't know that this was happening though.
Wow.
So one day I think she was sitting out on the front porch and FedEx or somebody came and dropped this big ass box on the on the front step. And my mom, she came in there, she looked at it, she was like, Sam, you know what this is? And I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, nah, because you gotta think, I didn't tell them to do this or whatever. So to this day, I want her to know that. Like I didn't ask them to send me nothing. I just think they ran her credit. And man, them boys sent that keyboard. I'm in there trying to explain it to her. You know, I remember being in the den trying to tell her, Mom, she's like, boy, you done got these folks to send this high-ass keyboard. Yeah, I want to say that keyboard was damn near like 2,500 or more. It was high.
It was about 25,
3,000. Yeah, probably 3 bands.
Yeah, it was about 3 bands.
But I salute my mama to this day, man.
Salute mom.
She let me keep it.
Wow.
Man, because I'm like, man, honestly, mama, if you don't believe me, just have them send it back. And I remember she, you know, kind of stormed off a little bit, like, what is it? She got this high-ass keyboard sent here. And then she came back in there and was like,
hey, mom's dope for that,
mom really looked out for me, man.
Wow, $3,000?
$3,000 keyboard.
And let you keep it.
She came back in that room and was like, baby, this what you really want to do? Because she heard me talking about beats and, you know, and then the little stuff I was already kind of doing on other people's equipment. She was like, baby, if this is what you really want to do, I'll stand behind you. I know this shit high. Because she was like, boy, this shit expensive, boy. I'm like, hey, you know. And that's all I had at the time was that damn keyboard. So she let me keep it. So fast forward, you know, I got the keyboard, didn't really know much about it. Kind of had to start reading up on it, you know, figuring it out and all that. And, but the shit I started creating with it started being crazy. So I'm like, you know, I started making a little noise in Houston, but I'm just like, all right, you know, I'm about to go back home because I got these folks, they ain't known me my whole life here, for one. But they know I'm a producer, they know this is what I do. So I'm like, if I can go to Texarkana, if I can go back home in Texarkana and make these people believe that this ain't Lil Sam from high school. You know what I'm saying? If they can see me as Nook, I'm a producer now. And if I can do that, I can take this show on the road. I can go to goddamn anywhere.
Yeah.
And make a stranger believe anything I want him to know. You know,
Right.
whatever I want him to believe, I can make him believe it. So that's what I did. I came here back in 07, like I guess you could say 06, 07. Started just flooding, beats flooding, you know what I mean? Just here. And then me and my boy Rodney Thrower,
for
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? He was rapping at the time. He was like the first one from the city for real to kind of take a liking to my beats. Cause I guess he saw where I was going with it. And
still to this day,
that's my dog. Like to this day, that's my dog because at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people don't know this, but when I make a beat, he be the first one I send it to. Because I know he gonna give me genuine feedback. You know what I mean? Because he was the first one that took the liking to my beat. So I would always send him. To this day, I send him a stack of beats, like you know, a pack. I should say. I send him a pack of beats, and he'll let me know, man, this is my favorite one. And some of the ones he choose, I send him to just say a Trapboy Freddy. Boom! It's you know what I mean?
And that's, you know, saying that, and I'm thinking like, this dude really got an ear. Because I mean,
real shit.
Him critiquing it and what you've put out, he's been right.
Man,
you see what I'm saying?
That nigga, when I tell you, to this day, he's a music head. Like, me and him, we'll get on the phone and talk about music for hours.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about anything for hours, but like, you know, I trust his ear more than I trust A&R, the major label, because he was the first one to hear my shit and be like, nah, bro, this special. So he did end up doing a whole album with my beats. Shout out to him. Shout out to Joseph Garrison, because they had a label called TKE at the end, you know, back then, you know what I mean? So they put out a project or whatever. Me and Rodney actually put out 2 albums.
Man, that's what's
together or whatever. But that was just off of just him naturally having a liking to my music. And like I said, that's my boy at the end of the day too. But you know, we just did that shit. That we had fun making music. You know what I mean? And excuse me, but that's kind of like when I started seeing, okay, we started getting some cool little feedback here, but you know, as much as me and him talk, he was like, man, I don't want to be no local celebrity, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just kind of glad we figured that out.
Yeah.
Early on,
it's like locally, it kind of feels good to be amongst your peers, to be known as somebody.
Yeah.
But from a business perspective, it don't mean nothing.
It only goes so far. And that's exactly what I mean. Like, I love the love.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I knew I couldn't feed my family off of local fame.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me, you know, I think figuring that out early saved my life, I think, because I could have just got comfortable.
Right. And going even with that, I was thinking within myself one day with what I was doing in my career. I'm like, do people in Atlanta even know me? Like, do people in Dallas know me? Shreveport, Little Rock?
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to spread.
I'm trying to spread this, and that's all it is.
Right.
We always say, like, you know, me and my partners or whatever, good dope don't sell itself. It don't matter what. You can be in Alaska, and that dope, if that shit, what it is, if it's potent, it's gonna sell. And, you know, no pun intended. But it's like, you know, that's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
Like, what I started doing, my strategy, when I could come here, I came back home, started making beats. I'm getting beats to everybody that rap out here.
For sure.
But what I started doing, I started targeting the underground. Because I'm like, you know, if I can, like, okay, like I said, I'm living with my mom.
Yeah.
I watch her get up, go grind, go to work every day or whatever. So, you know, by this time, I got my whole setup in her den. She didn't got, like, accustomed to my lifestyle in a sense of, like, all right, he got all his stuff in my den. That's all he do. I hear this loud boom, boom, booming all day or whatever. But So I'm just thinking to myself, how can I be productive? How can I reach the masses from this little old den? And what I started doing, I would go on what was that, MySpace at the time.
Yeah.
I'd go on MySpace and just go look for you know, different indie artists, underground artists in different markets. Like I'm talking about from like Alabama, Mississippi, Chicago, Florida, West Palm. Like West Palm Beach, Florida is kind of what changed. Like when I started getting my beats there, that's kind of what started changing my life, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. But
that's what's up.
I just start shipping them. I'm like, at the end of the day, you gonna have to do shit for free, and you got to just know what to do for free. So I knew, I'm like, I'm about to just start sending these beats. I send dudes, whoever, artists, I'll send them a message and, hey man, I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Man, let me just send you a pack, man. And hey, most of the time, underground artists, I'm gonna say 95% of the time, underground artist, he's still trying to jump his career off. So they're not gonna necessarily be like, they're not gonna shit on what you trying to do.
Yeah.
I got Zaytoven sending me beats. They don't have them niggas sending them beats yet. So what I start doing, if I can naturally become a fan of your work, I start sending them beats. Like I send them like a pack of 10.
Right.
And they'll, hey bro, I found a gem in that shit, bro.
Yeah.
And they'll send it back, and they putting it on their mixtapes in their market. All I ask is just put my production credit on it. It's me. And
that's genius, man.
That's all I was doing. I just just put my production credit on it. I'm already putting my tag on it.
Yeah.
So just put my production credit on your mixtape. Bro, that produced by Knucklehead shit started going crazy.
It did.
It was here. It's in Dallas. It's in Louisiana. It's, in Cali. It's everywhere. So that's what I'm doing, that from my mom's den. And that's how, when I started getting shit to this nigga, my nigga named Cleet in Florida, he had a buzz in West Palm Beach. And that's what kind of changed my life, because I ended up meeting my manager through him, and my manager at the time.
Yeah.
My boy Stan. And Stan is like Future's right hand man now, to this day. You know what I mean? But these people changed my life, bro, in a sense. And, like I said, I ended up moving to Atlanta with my boy L, because he was young in Atlanta. He was working for Delta Airlines, whatever. And he just was like, say, man, every time I go to the club out here, I hear shit that sound like you. So by that time, I'm already kind of getting a little underground buzz in a sense. But shit, when I moved to Atlanta with him, the first weekend we were there, I moved there on a Sunday. We went to Central Station on a Wednesday. I ran into... I'm just like, hey, I'm about to just start walking up on niggas in the club and just letting them know I make beats. And I ain't had no business cards, no CDs, no nothing, nigga. I'm just walking up on niggas like, hey, I make beats. And I end up walking up on this one nigga, like his name is Bingo, Brian Bingo Ward. Right to this day, he's Jeezy right hand man. But at the time, the Shop Boys were signed to him. He had the Shop Boys and J Money.
Dang.
The Don't I Be with J Money serving everybody. J Money was signed to him as well at the time. So this was On Deck Records. So I walked up on him not knowing who he was, though. I'm just walking up on random niggas I see with chains on. Like, hey, it gotta be somebody.
Yeah.
My boy L was like, man, no, don't walk up on them niggas, man. There might be some dope boys or something. I'm like, bro, I didn't move here just to bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm here to, hey, they about to find out I make some type of form, in some way, shape, or form. I'm broke as hell. I ain't got no business cards, no CDs, but just off faith alone, I'm walking up on niggas and telling them I make beats. And so, Bingo was like, he was like, yeah, bro, you ain't got no CD, you ain't got no CD and then we can listen to. I'm like, nah, no flash drive. You ain't got no business card. I'm like, nah. He told his partner Fire, the nigga named Fire. That's my boy too. What's up, Fire? He told Fire, he say, hey man, take this nigga number, man. He gotta be Fire. Cause he a bold ass nigga to walk up on a group of niggas telling them that he make beats.
It worked.
It worked. So that was Wednesday. I got invited to their studio. On that following Monday.
Yeah.
And bro, from that Monday, I sold my first beat in Atlanta for $500.
Wow.
And they were like, "Hey, bro, you welcome to come in anytime." And what they started doing, they invited me over every day. I just be cooking up. I cook up at the house, bring a fresh pack of beats every time I come, and so. They had a studio in this, where I was talking about. The studio was in Bankhead.
Yeah.
So this is where I meet Future and Scooter, because Future, Scooter, and J Money was the original Black Migo gang. But I'm with J Money every day, because J Money took a liking to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was before he popped off. So I'm with J Money every day, like the song say.
Yeah.
Every day I'm kind of like slick, like the nigga cameraman.
Yeah.
Because I'm with him. He just want me to get footage of him being in the bricks and, different hoods and all that. So I'm just kind of catching footage. You can probably find them old videos on YouTube, Black Migo TV. But, like I said, I'm around broke Future, broke Scooter, but everybody in that room, like KE on the track, he used to be there. From KE, Future, Scooter, J Money, everybody in that room had their moment, including myself.
Right.
But we just all in there. I just remember sitting in them rooms with them at the time and just kind of being like, damn, bro, I hope it worked.
Yeah.
But on the west side, like I said, studios in Bankhead on the west side, I'm meeting all of D4L. I done met Shawty Low. I'm building relationships with all these cats or whatever. So, and then J Money introduced me to Young LA, and then the Young LA relationship changed my life in Atlanta, because I kind of had that sound, like I was doing that futuristic shit, like you know what I mean. So that was like the wave in Atlanta at the time, futuristic music and whatever. So I'm a pioneer on that as well. A lot of people don't know, but me and Young LA pretty much locked in, and we did the SunTrust Leland mixtape. And so I had probably like 8 records on SunTrust Leland. Man,
that was the one I loved the most, because I was listening to that. I think they had it on Dead Piff at the time. Mm-hmm. And I used to go through there, and I'm like, what I would always look for is like the dope album covers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, and they'll let you listen to it on there.
Yeah, it's like the preview.
Yeah, they'll let you preview it. And so I went through there, I'm like, man, it's about 8 of them on here that's fire. Yeah. And little did I know, they was like, most of them was yours. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, man, who is this? I had them, I was bumping them on my radio here. And then I later figured out, it was like, that's Knucklehead, he from here. And I'm like, what, this guy?
Yeah. Shit crazy, bro. It just, what that mixtape did for me in Atlanta, man, it opened up so many doors. Yeah. Because it was just like, that was the sound. Yeah. So, everybody started reaching out. Like the Jose Guapos, and really, name it.
When you come across Gucci, man?
Man, with Gucci, so that's how, the way I met Gucci was through my manager Stan that I was talking about. So like when I was getting them records, sending free records to Florida, this artist, I saw him starting to blow. But me and him was really like making we had a real relationship, because even before we even met, we were talking on the phone all the time. He'd tell me, I need a record like this. And so what he was doing, this is Cleet who I'm talking about. Right. But he recording to all my shit, doing videos to him. And it's just the rooms that my music was entering out there. Like Khaled heard my shit.
Right.
And then Stan heard it. Because he started managing Cleat.
Right.
And so I remember the first time Stan called me, he like, hey, bro, I don't bullshit. I'm really calling you to let you know I'm a fan of you and I want to make some money with you. Right. And if you trust me, we can make some money together. So what he ended up doing, I didn't know Stan from a pan of cake, as a nigga on the internet say, a pan of cake. You feel me? But he flew me out to Miami. I'll never forget when we get there, he picked me up, black SUV, black Escalade, he pull up, take me to Flanagan's, which is a popular seafood restaurant out there. So it was Stan and Kiko. They were my managers at the time, that I'm introducing y'all to at this moment. But they take me out, let me know what they want to do with me, what they want to do with my career. And just all they asked it was me to trust them. And I can get you in whatever room you're trying to get into. So, shit, like I say, you young, you desperate. You know what I mean? I'm in Texarkana at the time.
It's going to be better than what I'm doing.
It's better than what I'm doing right now. So I'm like, shit, let's do it. So I signed a little production deal with them or whatever, management production deal. Yeah. And, I come back, they bought me a new laptop because I was making beats off a desktop and all that. So I get this new MacBook and all this other equipment and shit. Yeah. And so probably a week after I come back, they fly me to Atlanta. And this is right when Gucci was getting out. This was in, what is this, 2010? 2011, somewhere around the 2010. I think it was 2010. Yeah. But he had just got out again out of prison. And so, Stan, I remember him calling me before, hey, I want you to make a quick 10 pack for me real quick. Yeah. We're going to fly you out here. And, and they just kind of had me on some big dog shit. Like, before they got me staying in the Lowe's, 5-star hotel, whatever, just on some. And I'm like, who are these niggas? Because I'm kind of learning more and more about these niggas the more I'm around them. But as soon as Gucci come out, first song he recorded was to mine, and the song was called First. Was it First Song Back? It was First Song Back. That was the first. He did like a freestyle right out of prison, right? And then he put it on the Jury Selection mixtape. So I'm on that mixtape or whatever with Gucci. That was the first thing he ever recorded on one of my beats. And so, by this time, when I forgot, I don't know if that's Future's. I don't know if that's his studio now, but at the time it used to be Silent Sound. Yeah. I know anybody watching this from Atlanta know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It was Silent Sound Studio. I get invited there. And I learned a valuable lesson that day. Yeah. I'm going to get into this real quick. Yeah. I learned a valuable lesson. The first time I met Gucci, he was in the studio working with Sean Garrett. So I'm just happy to be there. Yeah. Nobody know who the hell I am, right? Right. So I'm outside. I go outside. I got my phone. I'm on Twitter. I'm like, goddamn, I'm in the studio right now with Gucci Mane and Sean Garrett. But that nigga Stan came and grabbed me, was like, hey, bro, don't ever do that shit again. Don't ever do that. I'm like, damn, I'm like, why? I'm trying to, I guess I'm being braggadocious because I'm over here with, so he was like, man, don't do that again because for one, Sean Garrett probably don't even supposed to be here right now. He probably canceled on somebody else's session, and you blasting it out saying that Gucci in the studio with Sean, he might have was supposed to work with Beyonce. Sean, Sean Garrett was working with Beyonce and whatever, writing songs for him. He said he might have canceled that for this. You never know what you blasting out. Right. And I didn't tag their names in the tweet and everything. Like, I'm in the studio with Gucci Mane and Sean Garrett. Yeah. And he was like, man, don't ever do that shit again, nigga. Just act like you been here before. just do, and that's something I learned in high school. When I played football, coach used to always say, man, act like you've been here before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you right. And ain't everybody business what I'm supposed to be what I'm doing. So what that did for me, it made me more modest.
That's really a good point too, because one thing I've learned even traveling through the industry, when you modest like that, you can get in the rooms with big people.
No problem.
If you you gotta act like it ain't nothing.
Yeah, like shit, I'm sitting right next to, man, I haven't been in a room with so many people, but I gotta act like they just.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But in the inside, I'm like, damn,
I've spoken to a lot of people even doing podcasts, and I'm like, golly, man, it's really them.
Hey, no.
But I conduct myself business like, okay, well,
that's real shit.
You know what I'm saying? But it'd be hard to compare, because like when I met Charleston White, I was like, man, this Charleston White.
Exactly.
And I'm talking to their managers, I'm high-fiving them and everything.
Exactly.
Got pictures and video, and I'm like, but I gotta conduct myself in a way like,
woosah.
Okay, like,
all right, you gotta turn your cool on.
Yeah.
Cause like shit. Cause they probably wondering who you are.
Exactly.
And so I ain't been in the room with these folks. I have to be like, shit, they don't know who I am. So, that was like I saying too. You was asking me about the Gucci man. When I actually met him for the first time, you ain't heard all the boogeyman stories about him, and he mean, and he gonna press you out and shit. I remember, like, the way the room was made, it's a long-ass room. So when you walk in, it's like walking through this door. But when you walk in, it's just like a big-ass room. And it's full of soundproofing, just big room as far as you can see. Long. And he up there, like, right next to Corey, which is was his engineer.
Yeah.
And he up there, I guess, talking to him. Yeah. And he see me, he turn around. He told him to stop the music. Stop the music and walk back to where I was. Because I'm already sitting down by the time. Yeah. He stopped the music. He see me walk, and he like, I'm Gucci. Nice to meet you. Say my name. But I'm just like, when he stopped the music and walked back there, I'm like, oh, shit, what's going on? You know what I mean? I don't know what this about to be.
Yeah.
And then I learned in that moment, Gucci a cool-ass nigga.
Yeah.
All that shit that internet shit.
Didn't you drive his Ferrari?
I drove his Ferrari. It's crazy. And this is all, like I say, after I meet him for the first time, cool nigga. We end up, working on some shit. He recorded like 2 beats from that time. And, so that was the first encounter of Gucci Mane.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, you can't get caught up into all the internet bullshit. Cause, he probably got smoked with niggas.
Yeah.
But,
when you get with people, you be like, well, it might was a good, he might have a legitimate reason. People just didn't see, but they really good people.
He was a good dude, man. I was like, damn, just the respect. And I started noticing anytime somebody new walk in the room, that's what he do. He stop, he come out his way. It wasn't no ego. Because it's like I know who I am.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you the respect of just coming and shake your hand. So like I said, I appreciated that about Gucci. And that was the first time I met him. So they flew me, after this, like I said, this was in Atlanta. Come back to TK or whatever. Then they flew me to Miami again. And so when I came out to Miami the second time, they had me working with Khaled.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And the runners, I don't know if y'all remember the runners, the producers that did Every Day I'm Hustling or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I was, around them.
That's what's
as well. So, but where I was staying at was Gucci's house on Ocean. He had a dope ass, like 4-story condo on Ocean Drive in Miami. He wasn't even there. They just was like, here, this is where you're gonna be staying, whatever. And so he had 2 Ferraris in the garage or whatever. And they was like, say, this ain't for no flossing and riding down Collins and all that shit. This is for if you need to literally really go and Like if you need to go to the grocery store, if you need to make a quick run,
Yeah.
they gave me the keys to it was a yellow 458, I believe.
Dang.
Bro, so I'm you know,
you
so
can't help
you can't help the shit.
know.
Like, so I got pictures on my Facebook for those ain't, you know, I'll have to pull that shit up.
Yeah.
Once this drop, I'll show you
Yeah.
those. But nigga, I'm all at Publix grocery store in the yellow Ferrari. I pulled up to McDonald's in the
man.
I'm just like, yeah, man, you know, like, but it just was crazy because them the only two places I went in. And I think, you know, I was there for like 3-4 days because if I wasn't at the house, I'm at the studio. But when I needed to go somewhere, they gave me the keys to the Ferrari. I'm driving them shits to the grocery store. McDonald's pulling up on some real young nigga shit, pulling up to McDonald's in a yellow Ferrari.
That's legendary.
I drove Gucci's cars. That's, you know, that's some whole new. That's a web exclusive.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But like I say, they was impressed that, you know, instead of me trying to floss, I was trying to work. And so you know, that's just how I was though. Like even when Stan had to go sit down, like he ended up getting locked up or whatever. He had to go sit down. I ended up having this. He appointed me, basically, what you call it, a replacement man.
Yeah.
Her name was Christine. White, you know, she cool as hell. White chick from Florida. I got cool with her family. They still family, really. We just, you know, but. Got real cool with her, so I basically moved to Miami for a year, staying with her or whatever. And, you know, nigga, they got all these foreign cars. They got Maybachs and G-Wagons and Jaguars, Rolls Royces, and I'm driving these cars. They let me drive these cars. They got BMWs, all this shit. They let me drive it.
Dang.
And I mean, like on some normal shit. Anytime I had to go to the studio, whatever car was outside that's available, that's what I took.
Wow.
But I never flossed it.
Yeah.
I never got on the internet with it.
Yeah.
You know, I never, you know, tried to be a hoe, you know, picking up females and all that shit. I really was like tunnel vision, bro. And I think that's why, I mean, honestly, I feel like that's why things happened for me the way they did, because I wasn't about trying to impress the internet.
And see, that's another thing too. And sometimes when people have that stuff, they put it to your discretion to test you.
See how you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Yeah. And then that shows them like, okay, well, we can move to the next step. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is, bro.
So sometimes when you see things out there, don't bite the bait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm just, like I say, I'm just this modest country kid. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, where I'm from, you know, I'm just a real nigga, bro. I know, like, my best friend, like, let's just say, like, a L or my nigga Justin Willis. That's my brother. Like, he gonna know, like, nigga, that ain't your car, nigga. I just be thinking of shit like that. Like, so I ain't finna be, you know, acting like it's mine. Oh, you whip. We you know, today this what I'm driving today.
As I got older too, I see sometimes grown cats doing it, and I'm like,
shit lame,
bro. Like, why would you do that?
Lame
like,
as hell, bro.
I remember one time a police pulled me over, and they was like, you had a ticket, and I'm like, bruh, if it wasn't these 3 vehicles, it wasn't me.
Exactly.
I don't drive nobody else stuff.
That's a fact.
Cause why would I do that?
That's
you know
me.
What I'm saying?
That's me, bro. I ain't into the web antics. I ain't trying to impress the internet.
Where the name Knucklehead come from?
My mama.
Oh yeah.
My mama, bro. Excuse me. So the first time, she already kind of called me that at home.
Yeah.
But I got in trouble at school one day, and she got called up to A-High, and she walks in the office and was like, I forgot what I did, but, you know, I'm on my way up there, and I can hear her. She up there with the, you know, administrative people, and she's like, where's little knucklehead ass at? Right, you know? And then it's like when I was walking up, they were like, There your knucklehead right there.
Dang.
And from that point on, she thought that was funny. Everybody, like, they couldn't even be mad at me for what I was already in trouble for.
Right.
And it just kind of stuck because my mom really just laid it on thick after that. That's all she used to just.
You know, man, given the story about your mom and how it all worked, Mom's really was the GOAT for real.
She was the GOAT, man.
I mean, like,
super
you
GOAT.
was able to get a $3,000 keyboard.
Man.
Like, what if she would have been like, no?
I always say that. Like, I always think back now. What would I have done if she didn't invest into my career? And she didn't even know she was investing into my career.
Right.
She did that, I didn't even know. It just showed up.
And it shows you, like, now as an adult, when you have kids, like, you never know what little thing you doing for your kid, how, like, it can improve their life.
That's a fact.
You know, my daughter graduated with honors. She got a full scholarship at Texas A&M.
Hey, come on,
you know what I'm saying? So I was thinking like,
That's hard.
I was like, boy, if I wouldn't have straightened up.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, I told my daughter, I said, I got a high school diploma in my room on the shelf. And I was like, anytime you need it, it's here.
Yeah.
But you got to understand for me what this did.
Yeah, nah.
Like, this a trophy. It's
man.
like, no money.
Society,
exactly.
Come on,
no
man.
money, no material. None of that mattered.
It don't.
You made it past the odds that I did.
Time.
See what I'm saying?
Time matters, man.
Right.
Like, and just being that example, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I see that's another thing you do now with your family and stuff.
Time, I just try to spend, because that's all at the end of the day, all we are walking memories. That's a memory now.
Right.
You see
know,
what I'm
me
saying?
and you,
I just snapped my finger 2 seconds ago.
Me and you,
I mean?
we always discuss this on the phone.
That's it.
And we, coming up young, we always talking about success.
Right.
What is real success? Like, people, we be thinking money, material, having big cars. And,
accomplishments.
Yeah.
And I can get deep on that.
Right.
Like,
I saw you recently, and I see you all the time with your family. Mm-hmm. Y'all went out on a vacation together, and y'all was out there on the balcony. She was holding her son, and I was looking at the water in the back. I was like, see that right there?
That, to me, is the definition of success.
Exactly.
Like, I used to get caught up into the win.
Yeah.
Like, man, I gotta keep winning.
Right.
And what people don't be knowing, man, like, okay, like, bro, it's so easy to go do what I've done.
Right.
For me, I guess, again.
Right.
I can do that shit again. It's just like, but at what cost?
That's deep.
You know what I mean?
That's
at
deep.
What cost? Because it's more so like, you got to have the energy to want to, I'll put it like this. The sacrifices my wife had to make just to be with me in the lifestyle I was in. You know what I mean?
That's
just
dope.
The late nights. Like, imagine laying with your lady and at 4:00 in the morning you get a text saying, meet me at the studio. And she got to deal with that. As a man, as a man,
I'm glad you bringing that point up.
You know what I mean? So as a man, and even as like with her, that let you know she had to be comfortable with my lifestyle, because she like, shit, that's such, like, all right, for instance, my boy FKI First, one time he did that. Like, I'm just off the top of the dome. I remember this night because he got into, I think he got into Atlanta. He came from LA and got a room, got us a session, and had me pull up at 3:00 in the morning. I'm in the bed asleep, and I wake up. I'm like, this is Post Malone. This is the dude who found Post Malone.
Dang.
Produced White Iverson and all that shit for him.
Dang.
He produced a lot of shit.
Yeah.
We can get into that in a minute, but he hit me and at 3 a.m. saying, "Hey man, pull up. I got us a room, studio room over there."
Yeah.
And man, I roll over, I show her. I'm like, shit, he just got in town, baby. I gotta go. I gotta go meet him up here just cause he in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was just like, all right, Vic, you gotta go do what you gotta do. You know, so I'm like, you know, all the sacrifices that she done made for me, now I feel like that's what I'm doing for her. More so like, cause you know, I always feel like, I tell niggas that now, like, I feel like, depends on the genre you in, but I just feel like music, the industry and shit is such a young man's game. So I had that epiphany running my own studio out of my house, my basement or whatever. I had all these youngsters.
It's so interesting that you say that, man. Shout out to your wife, man. Yeah, for sure. Because
Straight up, man.
The thing is, it made me think like, bruh, when I was down, nothing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, because my wife now, people be wondering, like, I heard a woman say the other time, man, he spoiled his wife, he get his wife. But you don't see, like, when I was in trucking school,
come on,
I had got fired before that.
Yeah.
She didn't have nothing, right? And she was taking hers, trying to help me.
Nah, that's
you know
what
I'm
I say,
saying?
man. My wife can ask me for whatever.
Exactly.
And I'm going to make sure it get done. You know
man, I was out there over the road many nights. I'm gone at a week at a time.
Right.
You know what I mean? She here by herself, holding everything down.
Yep.
So I made it up in my mind. I was like, man, when it get right, I went
good forever.
Man, when I came off the road,
yeah,
man, she graduated college.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, forget that. Yeah. I went to the Chevrolet dealership. I was like, this what I want right here. We ain't looking at nothing. Yeah. I'm like, I want this for her. Yeah. We left with it.
Yeah.
So she had a dream to build her own restaurant. So like, man, I used my brains and I built it. And that's now she doing her own business. She's literally full-fledged entrepreneur living her dream.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's success.
I like to hear that. That's what I'm saying? Success.
Exactly.
That's why I say it ain't. I had to learn, bro. When I was deep into the industry,
right.
It's ego. It's I'm into this. I'm worldly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking. I had to start thinking like everything that she sacrificed. I'm looking at. Just shit I done did. And,
right.
I'm like, man, I gotta get my act right.
Right.
Because she selfless. Everything she do is for the family.
Right.
Me and the family make sure we always good.
That's dope, man. I love it. And to be honest, I like watching y'all on the internet, y'all going and doing stuff and having fun with each other. And I'm like, you know what? We gotta, as people, do that.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in all these circumstances and debts and all that. We take time away. That's all we got.
That's all we got is time. That's all we got is time. And I truly, like I say, all we are is walking memories.
Exactly.
And so I try to, if there's a way or the opportunity to create a new one for my family, because that's all they going to, whenever, good Lord, when God calls us home, that's all they going to have.
Yeah, because Dylan and Nori, they don't remember your hit records.
Hell no.
No, bro, they remember when you went to the mall. when you went to the ocean.
Yeah.
That's what they remember.
That's what they remember. They don't, man, like, Dylan might have been a year ago, just kind of started, like, realizing, like, oh, Dad, you didn't did some stuff, because she'll go down, she'll see the plaques downstairs, and,
right.
She'll see my BMI award,
right,
or whatever, and she was just like, Dad, what did you get this for?
Right.
So I'm talking about she like at this time she might be 8, 9 years old. Like, what did you?
My daughter do the same thing when we go places because I'm on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going places. People coming up shaking. They like, yeah.
You know everybody.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my daughter be like, it never fails. We go somewhere, something. But to them, that ain't nothing to them.
Nah, that ain't.
You see what I'm saying? They looking like
it's nothing.
When we going and she driving. We going out doing things together. That's what they like.
Then that's what they gonna remember.
Exactly.
It's not gonna be the like nothing you did for them financially is not gonna matter. It's crazy to say, but
that's absolutely true,
but
man.
When I just like my daughter Dylan's birthday just passed on the 12th.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and I took her and her friends to the aquarium. She gonna remember that forever.
That was dope.
You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to do that for them, that's all she wanted to. She just wanted some simple stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing I've learned with dealing with family. You be wanting, I'm gonna do this big thing.
Yeah.
They want like the littlest thing.
The smallest stuff makes them happy, and I appreciate that. Cause I'm thinking I gotta go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Man,
that's dope, man. You been
smooth, a little smooth outing, you know.
You know, it's amazing to me that you able to with your success and with what you've done in the industry, you know, you kind of like at a point like say, hey, yeah, I got stuff still going, but most of that I'm putting to the side for my family.
And that's all it was about. Even, you know, like, bro, like everybody don't know, like when I started this trucking journey.
Yeah.
This was the man helping me, like my boy Endo. My boy Endo,
shout out to Endo,
my boy, man. Love my boy, man. You know, but like, I'm on the phone with these niggas every day.
Yeah.
And they helping me, like, with just kind of giving me the game on what I'm finna be up against. Even when I was at Coke, he let me know, oh, boy, they finna work the shit out of you.
Man, boy.
You know, I mean.
Coke is the hardest job.
Man, that shit is like, that's boot camp.
It is.
It's trucking boot camp.
It's trucking boot camp. If you can go to Coke and make it for a year.
You the man.
You can go anywhere. Company.
I gave them niggas 2 years.
2 years.
And the reason I gave them 2 years was because they close. Like they literally
that's
2
the
blocks away
main
from
place.
Me, you know?
You were the main plan is.
Boy, so exactly. So I mean,
boy, my house looks like Easy Mart.
Boy, shit, me too, nigga. Hey, boy, I know you saw them videos.
I'm like, boy, they give me Coke.
Yeah. I got a whole refrigerator full of Coke shit. All Coke products. Powerade.
Yeah, all of it. And they just giving it. They be throwing the junk away.
Give it to you. So
I'm like, man, that's what's up.
I did that shit 2 years. And nobody could understand, man. I always say though, like I found more peace just in my life overall, especially now. But even when I found more peace just trying something new because I'm playing the long game. I know what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? But I knew, like, okay, this is my first gig as a trucker. You know, and
you gonna get got.
You gonna get got, and it was more so like, okay, it's close to home, so like I could be at work, I could leave and be at work in 5 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got spoiled to that, and that's what kept me there, I think. But man, I wasn't about to do another Coke something. Nah. I was like, I gave him 2. Never again.
Man, 2. You really put in work, real grind. Man. I was there a little over a year.
Yeah.
And I was trying to tell them, I'm like, hey man.
Yeah, man.
A diesel full of Cokes is a lot of dang work,
hey,
man.
Let me tell you, you open up that damn trailer. And you can't even step in there.
Step in it.
Boy, I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be a long day, boy.
Man, that used to make me mad.
Boy, I used to be mad as hell, depressed. I called my wife like, boy, these niggas finna work the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm happy for that being a part of my journey. But,
for sure.
You know, because at the end of the day, now what I do, so Cadillac, like, it's, you know, he got me, I do the tanking, I'm a fuel tanker.
Tankers?
You know what I mean?
I told you, man, I said, we was talking about that, because see, little do y'all know, we talking on a regular basis.
All the time, yeah.
We talking on a regular basis, and I'm like, man, you need to come do this, man, this
shit way more smooth.
And when I started doing tankers, people was like, I ain't hollering nothing that blow up. I'm like, no, bruh.
You thinking too hard.
You looking at it wrong. They want you to look at that. That's the easiest thing, bro. And it's the most money.
It's the most money and the easiest thing you can haul.
Right.
All the main thing of that job is just paying attention.
You got to pay attention.
Pay attention to what you're doing, and I mean it's smooth.
Yeah, like, let's talk about some of that a little bit because hauling fuel, bruh, like people come around you smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, man,
get your ass back.
I know. I'm like, this one dude made me mad the other day. Mm-hmm. He came, I'm dropping fuel. I'm like, hey, bro, you can't be in this area, you know what I'm saying? I'm dropping fuel.
Yeah.
He gets over the tank.
Yeah.
I'm dropping in, lights a cigarette.
Come on, man.
I'm like, bro, then you lit a cigarette. He was like, well, you need to put a sign out here.
Yeah.
I'm like, see, man.
Like, nah, bro, you about to take us all out.
Man,
that's what I would tell. Like, I had this smoker. I guess we call him a smoker. Junkie. I don't like calling folks junkies, but he walks up behind me. I'm at this Quick Trip in Decatur.
Yeah.
He walks up behind me right as I'm hooking up the vapor.
Yeah.
And lights up a cigarette. I almost pushed his ass down, bro. Like, hey, bro, you gotta move. I want to go home.
The vapors catch more than the fuel. That's the most dangerous part.
That's the most flammable, explosive part. Is that
the vapors?
That's just like when your truck empty.
Yeah.
That's when it's the most flammable.
You actually see you in the game. You know what's going on.
That's when it's most flammable. Exactly. Is when you don't have nothing in your when you just drop. You still got all them fumes in your tank. That's when that motherfucker. That's when they blow up. Excuse me for family if y'all watching. You know I'm a pirate.
But that is you absolutely right.
Like I say, it's a journey that everybody ain't built for.
Right.
And I appreciate doing it, and because it's gonna separate the men from the boys. I always say, especially doing hazmat.
And see, that was another thing that it go back to the beginning when we was talking about college. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, if you go get these CDLs, you gonna make more than most people.
I was just about to say
going to college.
Going to college, I swear.
And I was like, cause starting off CDL, you automatically gonna be over 50 grand.
Yeah,
a year.
Off top.
Off top,
you over 50.
So it's like, and 50 is low, but it's still decent.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
you can make 50 work.
Yeah, you can make 50 work.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so you went to school 8 years just to be, man.
Just to be making 50?
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's what I say, man. Yeah, I mean.
Man, what are some of your latest projects you got out right now?
At the moment, like I said, I just got selective over time. Because, I mean.
I like that humbleness in you. Because it's like, at this point, it kind of seemed like you ain't really big on trying to be big.
Yeah, I don't.
Just putting stuff out just to have some stuff out there.
Yeah.
And to me, it seemed more like you setting up something for your kids.
And that's where I'm at. Mostly, it's just more so like, man, I didn't win. I didn't did. I'm just being honest. I think that's another thing. Like when I kind of, how can I say it? Like some people, when you tell somebody you've won, they think you're bragging.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. It's not bragging. I'm just telling my truth.
Yeah.
But it's more so like I've won numerous times with music, and it's more so now I'm like, I sacrificed a lot to win, though.
Right.
And it's like I don't have necessarily, not saying I don't have the energy, it's just that 100% that I was putting into it, I just don't have it. I don't have to either. You know what I mean? And I'm just more so now, I like to see other people win.
Yeah.
And I'm just selective. If I do want to get involved with an artist or whatever, I'm just selective with it now.
Yeah.
I don't try to, hey man, because normally when I'm working with somebody, I see the vision the moment we start working.
Right.
Hey man, all right, so if you do this, you do that. And I was like that with August. I mean,
Yeah.
for real, you know, August was kind of like a little brother.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got to, in a sense, mold him just by me being me. I kind of
Right.
led the way.
Right.
You dress like me, you know. A
Yeah.
lot of people wouldn't know that. You know,
Right.
they wouldn't. Like, he would be in my closet. Just think of, all right, I'll put it to y'all like this. Like, he was getting clothes provided to him from major brands and shoes, clothes, anything. But he would still be at my house in my closet. And, you know, he getting all this shit free.
Damn.
And he would, hey, how would you wear this? Or how would you put it? And he'll throw his shit on. Not saying that he didn't have his own style, but he just trusted my input on the things he wanted to put on.
That's
and so when I get involved with an artist, I'm all the way 100.
Yeah.
Smoothie he can tell you, like, that's my boy, man. Shout out to Smoothie, man.
Shout out to Smoothie, for sure.
But when I'm 100 in, I'm the type, I'm finna call you. I might call you at an odd ass time of the night, but I got ideas, I got thoughts, and I just want to, you know, run them by you. I'm one of those. I'm gonna call you at odd times of the night if I'm all the way in.
For sure.
Because ideas don't sleep.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So,
I know. Going back to that, I know some of the people you told me you looked up to. One of them was Pippi.
Yep, that's my brother, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I got genuine love for Pippi, man, because I met him first as an artist, like as him being an artist. And what made me fall in love with Pippi was he gonna look just like what he rap about.
Yeah.
Everything he rapped about, you could pull up to his house and he doing everything that he rapped about. It wasn't no faking, you know. And he gonna get fly on you. He gonna do all the shit he talk about.
Man, Pippi was like a superstar here. Cause
Man,
I used to see that green car.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, ain't nobody else in it, man. It's like some dream come true.
Bro, like, Pippi was like, that's who I looked up to.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, you know, even as a producer, like I know everybody got their ones.
Yeah, they do.
You know, even if it was other producers that they looked up to and all that, I looked up to Pip.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. I just, you know, that's why I got, and the way, the type of love he showed me as well, like, no, I'm forever loyal to my boy. That's my boy, man.
For
like,
sure.
You know,
For
but
sure.
as a youngster, I used to be like, man, boy, I want to do it like them.
Yeah,
I'm kind of,
exactly.
you know what I mean? So I truly, I got a lot of love for my boy, man.
Yeah.
Because he looked like what he rap about.
Yeah, I seen him because growing up watching him, one day I seen him in the mall with his daughter.
Yeah.
He was buying us like some shoes or something, and they was right in front of me. I was like, oh, that's Pip.
Yeah.
I want to, hey, man.
Nah, bro,
he
was a celebrity, bro.
Yeah, he's
no
a real
lie.
celebrity. So I'm like, oh, that's Pip.
That's my
so
brother.
I was like, hey, man, how's it going? I was kind of but he's like, yeah, he's a cool dude.
He a cool dude, man. He, no lie, like I ain't even gonna say the amount or whatever, but when me and my wife got married, he pulled up personally and chunked me some.
Wow.
Just cause. Didn't have to. I didn't ask. I didn't even know why he was pulling up on me.
That's dope.
He just was like, say, bro, I just want to tell you congratulations. Threw me a little something. I'm just like, bro, that was the realest shit.
Really?
He did it. Nobody else. Like,
yeah.
I just thought that, like I say, but I got.
See, that's the thing. When you give something, that's really in your. That's really
in your spirit. Like nobody would even have known that.
No, they wouldn't. Nobody, you know, and that's what's so genuine. Nobody would have ever known.
It wasn't for the book. It wasn't for the gram. You know, some niggas, when they about to give you something, they gonna show the stack.
Yeah.
I'm finna go ride over here.
Well, that's why you did. To show that.
It was for promotion.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So, like, you know, like I say, bro, when he did that, I was just like, nah, dog, like, whatever you need from me.
I see lately, though, Trapboy, you got some stuff going on with Trapboy Freddy.
Yeah, that's me and him like this right now. That's my I mean, that's a cool nigga.
Yeah.
Too.
And see, that's another situation where you be like, the internet says this, and then when you meet people, like, nah, it ain't cool really nigga, there. Man. Because even a lot of people thought that him and Charleston was beefing, but they wasn't though.
No, they not.
They was
got
really
love
cool.
For each other.
Yeah, they got love for each other. But when you looked at the internet, you didn't look at it that way.
That way, yeah. The internet will make you think they don't like each other.
Yeah.
But I mean, no.
But that's cool. I was listening to it. I said, "Oh yeah, man, we
got a lot of records in the box. You know what I mean? And
that's
a lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah,
that's just kind of how I'm. You know, I think at the time, like at the height of my career, I had to do the internet shit.
Yeah,
I had to because I'm slick still promoting myself.
Yeah,
but,
you got it. Yeah, man, it is promotion. Yeah.
If I don't got to, I'm not really gonna be on there like that. I post here and there.
Yeah.
Whatever, but like at one point I was turned up on the internet.
Yeah.
And and it was more so of, you know.
Yeah, now it kind of, because I see now, we're going to have to get your wife on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Because see, now you was turned, now you kind of like the...
me and her talk about that all the time. Because I'm like I'll be the one telling her, like, you about to post that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she like, yeah. So I used to be a habitual pot stirrer.
Right.
You know what I mean? I stir the pot. Because sometimes... My thing is, I would say something about certain people sometime or stir the pot because I didn't like people getting bullied.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so, you know, I see somebody going to pick on somebody a week. All right, so I'm going to say something about you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I know I got a platform.
Exactly.
I'm going to get on your ass. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, I just don't like, I've always been that type of person.
She
always stick up.
Your wife said something about getting out of Texarkana. Ooh, she really stirred the pot. I mean, that went crazy.
Because when I tell you here lately, the shit that I've been seeing fights at funerals or repasts, and this is what she was talking about. It ain't. Because see, the thing about her, she the most humble spirited person, and you know our family here.
Yeah.
I'll never talk down on where I'm from. But it's just the energy that we grew up on, it wasn't like this now.
And this is the one important part I want to say about like people like your wife, my wife, like it's working for them. Exactly. Like y'all need to take notes and listen to people like this. Yeah. They got the husband. Yeah. They got the life.
Yeah.
So even though you down talking them, it's like they winning in real life.
Yeah. Like it's not just no internet.
Exactly. Yeah, most women, a lot of women that talk negatively and say all this stuff in real life, they ain't got no husband or nothing.
Nothing.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like obviously something she's doing is right. Look at like even with my wife. Like obviously something she's doing is right. You need to be listening. Right.
Yeah. That's who you need to be listening to. Don't listen to
the real results. They got them right there. Ain't no imitation.
These, club hoppers.
Exactly. These club hoppers, they don't really feel like it ain't showing in real life. And I be trying to tell people that all the time. Watch the women and listen to the women that's actually operating in it, that actually have it.
Right. Yeah.
That's because they right. It's showing.
They got the recipe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm more so like, I mean, I tell her that all the time. That's why it's funny because we have like on the internet we traded.
Man,
spaces,
I got some ideas in mind. We're going to discuss it. I ain't putting it. Yeah. We talked about it. Yeah. I ain't finna put that out because y'all going to try to get it. But I got something good going on. But I just want to tell you, man, I definitely appreciate you coming. And I'm going to be honest, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan of you, bro. Real talk. Like for real. My family know almost all your productions.
Oh shit! Okay.
Because I play them all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I was telling them, I'm like, yeah, this him. I know him. Man, you real talk. Out of out of all the producers I ever heard, I put you in the top 7.
Man, I appreciate
of
it.
all the ones I've ever heard, ever.
Because, I'm one of those, man. My thing is, I'd rather be felt than seen.
Right.
So, I don't care about you seeing me or whatever. As long as, being felt, man. Like, I remember when I used to just, kind of scroll and I see what's going on. People be like, man, we way over here in Germany listening to your music.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, damn, like something that I started from my mama den in a sense. Exactly. Is reaching the masses. That's all I could ever ask for.
Yeah. I mean, and then it was going crazy on TikTok.
Man, it came. So basically the song went viral again. And, it was just like, bro, I'm talking about I'm getting like 2 million streams per week.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Just off of that one song. Not just, you know what I'm saying, but just 2 million per week off that one song. So, I seen like the chicks,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you know what I mean? So, I mean, once your work is out there, it's out there forever. So, I mean, it's gonna earn. But, I mean, that's what I'm on. That's why I kind of just was like, this is the perfect time to kind of just focus on my family.
Yeah,
and
man.
Do something different,
And you stopped by. That's love, man.
I told you, man.
We was discussing this, and you called me, and you was like, man, I'm pulling up on you. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This what's up.
I told you I was coming, man.
For sure. For sure. One more thing before we get ready to leave. What would you say to a person that was upcoming, that was kind of like in a position like you, that wants to try to get into the industry?
Into the industry, man.
Like, because one of the reasons why I say this is because a lot of people be doing some work and they want immediate results.
It's not gonna happen overnight. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I tell them. It's not gonna happen overnight, bro. You truly have to build everything from the ground. I mean, and some get lucky and get it early, get it fast, but it's not gonna last. Like when you really put set your foundation and built it up from the ground, man, can't nobody knock that over.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can't. That's just like with cancel culture and all that. You can't cancel everybody.
Right.
You might think you can, but man, if they foundation strong, man, they gonna be here long. I ain't even trying to drop no bars.
Hey, that was really you just did,
they
bro.
gonna be here though.
Wow.
So it's more so like that fast success leaves fast as it came.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So if you want it fast, you
better
have
fast.
Your plan A. Your plan B better be making sure that your plan A work. Wow. If you're trying to get it fast, it's not gonna happen overnight. I mean, it might look like that to the outside.
Yeah.
But it took, to get a hit record for me. It took what? 8 years.
Dang.
Took 8 years. So some people think that shit happened overnight. No, it took 8 years, and I mean, like I said, just even discussing beat prices, nigga. My first beat I ever sold was $80.
Wow.
From $80 to $15K.
Dang.
You see what I'm saying? That's the $15K the most I've ever sold a beat for.
Wow.
So I mean, if you willing to play the long game, it's gonna pay off. But if you one of those that, man, this shit ain't happening fast enough, I gotta go do something else. You might have been right there.
Man, that's so deep.
You know what I mean? You might have been right there. So
and then sometimes, even when the process I've seen, people always want money, and it's like we said earlier, you're gonna have to do something for free.
You're gonna have to do something for free. Like you're gonna have to, like I say, man.
And even if you meet somebody with money, it doesn't necessarily mean that you might get money off of
them.
The objective is to get your foot in the door, and get them to put it out.
And get the money from the machine.
Yeah.
And see and when I say the machine, the label, because I always say, like, you know, Alchemist is my favorite producer. When I was coming up, he did like this, like, it was like doing like these little short commercials or whatever they was, like for MTV. And he was kind of bringing you into his world as a producer. And first thing he said was, man, you're going to have to do certain stuff for free. You just got to know the right thing to do for free. Because if you come in, and the way I took it is, you come in and you asking for money. Let's just say first time you meet Gucci Mane. Just say if, all right, the first time I got my beats to Gucci, soon as he get through recording and we wrapping up the session, I'll be like, all right, so Gucci, I'm going to need like 5 bands for that beat. He going to scrap that shit.
Dang.
Because he going, man, what? I'm helping you out right now, which he was at the time. He helping me. So
that's a good point.
You know, it's like you can't run off the clientele.
And not only that, saying it that way, just like you said, it also shows them what's inside your mind too.
Exactly.
It's like, it's not even just about the money. It's like, it's
a lick.
Right. You got a messed up ego, and now they don't want to invest themselves. Yeah.
You know,
they don't want to invest themselves more in you because they feel like it's gonna go bad somewhere.
You gotta look at it. Like I bet, and I'm just using that as an example, but I bet Zaytoven never asked Gucci for bread. Because what you do is, what I learned what to do, and that's how I was making my bread on the underground.
Yeah.
Was, okay, you get your brand out there first. You let, like, the big dogs push your brand, and, you know, you sell your beats on the underground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody gonna want that sound.
Right.
So then you know, not saying you gotta tax niggas, but you gotta, all right, if you want the sound I gave Rocco, or you get the sound I gave to Kevin Gates, you got to pay for it. Like, you know what I mean?
It's even like with the podcast. Like, I'm doing, a lot of people don't know. I ain't making no money on this right now. But
building.
I'm building. Yeah. I got a roster.
Come on.
And the people locally want to charge me more than big.
We talk about that.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like...
like, hell no.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, don't try to act like you didn't need this promotion, too. You
That's
know what I'm saying?
Thing, bro. I always say, like what... All right, so when I ain't no names, but when you pay one of these cats to do your shit, right?
Right.
What do you gain from it? Like, all right, so let's say you pay Charleston White for an interview.
Yeah.
You know you finna make your bread back.
For sure.
So what bread are you gonna make back from somebody who needed your help? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's like, that's why, I mean.
I was trying to, and then that's why I was trying to see, like, look, man, Charleston White manager watched my lives. Mm-hmm. And when they was coming to Texarkana that time, he emailed me. He was like, hey, man, we going to be in Texarkana. Pull up on us. Mm-hmm. That's developing the relationship.
That's how you got to do it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you get used to seeing my face. They seeing me, because then think, when the right thing grasps me, what they going to look at?
See, that's my thing, bro. I always preach this, but it's the relationships are worth more than money.
Right.
Because the relationship I have with a Gucci Mane or a Coach K or Rocco or any of these people, that they don't gotta, I mean, necessarily they helping me.
Right.
Because that relationship is bringing me money.
And then the other day, when I had that time I had Keith Wallace on, we had such a good interview. Every month, he reshared that clip.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's showing me and him on there. I'm like, see? And he got like over 500,000 followers. So I'm like, see?
That's what.
And then DC Young Fly, Carlos Miller, and Chico, that's like they right hand man. They like him.
Exactly.
And I'm like, well, now they see me. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, you can't scare the money off.
Exactly.
By asking for money.
Exactly.
So you got to know, like, it's crazy. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Yeah.
So I had to learn, just like I said, that Alchemist, let's just say that documentary, it helped me out a lot because I'm like, I don't got to ask for everything. If they going to pay, the goal is to get the label to pay.
Right.
Because what they gonna throw you out their pocket ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be enough to survive on.
Right.
But when that label get behind it and they get them songs registered and that's in your catalog, you're gonna eat off that every 4 months.
Right.
I mean, every 3 months you're gonna eat off those them songs. So
and a lot of
play
people
the long game.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even know. You was talking about the trucking thing.
Yeah.
Knucklehead was the one schooling me on the podcast.
Hey, we were sharing ideas.
Yeah, we were sharing ideas.
That's what we were
Before
doing.
all of this came into play, I had a vision, and I was like, hey, man, well, what about this? And I was throwing stuff out, and he was telling me just like he telling me now. And as you see, putting it, like, it's really doing something now. Like, and I'm looking at it now like, and guess what, bro? I'm over a year in it now.
Man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I ain't really made no money doing it, but
it ain't even about it. It's coming. The money gonna come.
You starting to see a lot of me around.
Yeah.
You're starting to see clips. You're starting to see stuff everywhere. Houston, Dallas, Texarkana, Shreveport, Little Rock, Memphis. You starting to see me there.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. Cause see Keith Wallace, he that's where he live at right now.
Okay.
So, when I flew him in, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. I flew him in to Texas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like man. The whole idea was they know. They see what's going on.
They know
who is that guy?
Yeah.
So now when I go out places, they like, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna tell this one story. Man, I was getting discouraged a little bit because when I first started it, like I'm like, man, dang, don't seem like it's doing nothing really. And like I was
the devil wants you to think. The devil wants you to think that.
Exactly. So I was finna send a part back one day that's Samsung or somebody sent me something. I was finna send a part back, phone or something, and I walked in to send a package back, and this random girl was like, "Hey, don't you got a podcast?" That girl don't know. Yeah, she really uplifted me because she had no idea who I was, and I was thinking, whatever I did reached her. Right. Somehow.
They paying attention.
Exactly.
They paying attention.
So they paying attention even though, and when I go places, they be like, I watch your podcast, and I'm thinking, dang, so even though they ain't saying nothing, they paying attention. So I said that to say this. You don't always have to hear feedback from what you're doing, but they see
They watching. They know exactly what's going on.
Like even you. Yeah. You told me, you was like, I don't comment a lot, but I watch all your
everything. Right, I want to get that. Like, let's be clear. I watch everything. I might not say everything. I might not. Sometimes I say shit, but for the most part, I listen. Now, if I feel like I need to say something, I will. But I be sitting back, and that's what a lot of stuff. What a lot of people I watch. And I be proud, because I'm going to tell you like this. Like, all right, when I start talking to somebody and they know, like, I'm a fan of what they doing, I start telling them about the shit I seen. Yeah. Like, I saw when you did today. Damn, you was watching that? I'm exactly. Watching it. But I just don't have to say something all the time. Right. That's me. I mean,
I'm one of my things, even with the podcast, though, man, I was starting to try to bring locals on, and boy, I didn't get the feedback. It was some hate somewhere. I'm like, no, it's out of love, bro. And it was hard for them to understand it. I ain't no hater type person, but the also people don't understand. I go to the internet with the truth, the bold truth.
Yeah.
And sometimes I say stuff, you be like, dang, I didn't want to hear that. But was it a lie, though?
Nah, that's why I remember
Yeah.
I like what you and Jaywalk did. Shout out to Jaywalk. I just, I like what y'all did because there was a lot of truth.
Yeah.
Truth sets everybody free, regardless of whatever it is.
Right.
I just like that y'all were able to
but that,
be cordial.
Mm-hmm. I see you saying, I respect this.
I respect it.
Because what I was trying to show him was like, look, bro, I do like you as a person.
Yeah.
But when you did this, that wasn't it.
I ain't feel it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he didn't know how to grasp that and understand, like, look, we still brothering after this. I don't hate you.
I don't hate you. I'm just telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes the truth is what's needed.
And then this was another thing. Realistically, it's a whole lot of more other people saying the same thing. It's just
you got the courage to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got genuine love, so I'm telling you,
that's
like,
what
bro,
real love is, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Love.
I got genuine love, and I'm telling you, hey, look. A lot of people saying this, they just don't want to tell you. But I'm coming to you as a person to tell you, I got love for you, but this ain't it.
Exactly.
Well, now you ain't trapped. Well, no, bro, that ain't what I was trying to do.
Nah, I got to shout out the DA, man.
For sure.
Because a lot of people, he knew my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, my dad used to keep me out of grown folk business.
Yeah.
Too. But I used to I was a sponge too.
Yeah.
I wanted to be just like my dad. I wanted to do everything
for
like
sure.
that. You know what I mean? And I was kind of getting those first early glimpses of what it take to be a part of the music industry. And my daddy had all these plugs, bro. Like, I'm talking about seeing is believing. Like,
right.
Like my daddy could get close to so many different people. You know what I'm saying? Like my daddy
actually confirmed.
You know what I mean? People would it's crazy.
When he said that, I was like, what? So wow.
And shout out to DA, man, because like I say, my daddy knew Emmett Smith. He knew Emmett Smith's mom. Wow. You know what I mean? He would get us playoff tickets. Like I remember we went to the playoff game. And damn, that was 90. That might have been 92, but they played the Eagles. That's when Randall Cunningham was there, and I remember the game being cold, and Dallas won, and shit, we got invited to go into the locker room. My daddy I don't know how the hell he used to have these connections. Like I'm talking about.
Dad was plugged.
Man, listen, I got my dad had brought Elder Bars to Sanderson Lane.
Wow.
Had him in our house at a party.
Wow.
Real Sanderson Lane. All right, I'm gonna say something. Real Sanderson Lane people know what I'm talking about. Like this is all facts. Like I'm gonna find these pictures. Yeah. Elder Barge. This is Elder Barge at his height of his career was in my house. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't know how my dad used to pull some of this shit off.
That's dope.
Like, I mean, whoever you need to know, he knew him. Like Johnny Gill, and this is in the early '90s when they had their peaks. Yeah, it ain't like no.
And then you naming names. Yeah, real big names.
I don't know how he used to do it, but it's like I saw him do it when he passed away. It's like it lit a fire under me, bro. Like I felt like when he passed when I was 18. And I feel like I was having a midlife crisis by the age of 21. Because I'm just like, I got serious about my life. I used to be a class clown.
Yeah.
All that shit. But when he passed, I'm like, man, this life shit real. Like, I had just talked to him the night before he passed. Yeah. And it's like the conversation he had was like drilling me on some like, man, you gotta be great. You gotta pay attention. You gotta, you gotta want it. You gotta, decrease your distractions and really take something from life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm playing I remember I'm playing college. I mean, no, it wasn't college football. It was NCAA basketball, EA Sports.
Yeah.
I'm playing this shit against my March Madness was the name of that game.
Yeah.
I'm playing March Madness against my roommate. And so while we talking, I'm holding the phone. You know how you hold the phone like this.
Yeah.
Like this. He drilling me in my ear, basically.
Yeah.
Pause. But he drilling me in my ear, telling me what I need to hear. Meanwhile, I'm losing now because I'm like, all right, Dad, all right, bet, man, all right, bet. You know? And he was like, well, I love you. You know, I love you. You know that, right? I'm like, yeah, I know you love me. Why are you doing all this tonight? Because I'm just looking at it like, damn, man, we going to talk tomorrow. Why are you doing all that? Like, 3 o'clock that morning, he passed away.
Dang.
And it was just like, it sent us. It spooked me because it's like, he's almost like he knew he was about to pass that night.
Wow.
So, bro, that
goes
got serious
back.
About my life at that point. I got to do something. I want to do something great because I know that's what he would have wanted me to do. And that's just
that probably have a big part of why you take the time out
with my kids. That's exactly why. And I'll put anything to the back burner for my family. Like,
right.
You know, like I said,
I found myself telling people sometimes, like, man, I gotta go do this. I gotta do this with they having this with my family, but I need to go over there. I'll be like, no, go with your family.
Yeah, do that.
Do your family stuff.
Yeah.
Put that to the side. Do your family stuff. I find myself every year. Like, we go on vacation.
You got to, man.
We go on vacation. I'm finna get ready to go on vacation, man.
That's real success.
Yeah. God bless me. Yeah. Man, I rented a condo.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I ain't never been able to do that.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I want to be out there with my family. Forget the money, because all that's going to leave anyway. And then when you
can't take it with you.
I've seen people, man, work their whole life and died, and like, dang, you never did nothing.
That made me think of my Uncle Shelby. Shout out to my Uncle Shelby. Like I said, that was probably one of the deaths that hit me the hardest, I think.
Dang.
Because I watched him, like I said, I got my daddy over here doing cool shit to my right. I'm with him every day, but then I'm watching my uncle, like, take over the city as a DJ.
Yeah.
I used to go to gigs with him just to go sit and watch and, just get a vibe. And I mean, my love for sneakers and shit came from Uncle Shelby, man. I never, I just don't know who I would be if I didn't have him in my life. And
that's dope.
What you just said about, like, the work all their life and then didn't get to enjoy it. Like, he had just retired before he passed away.
Dang.
Just retired. The year of his retirement, he passed away. You
Dang.
know what I mean? So it was like, that always made me be like, I get real serious about, like, making sure I take family trips and I don't put them second.
My dad told me that one day. He was like, because I was like, Dad, I want to do something else, besides driving the trucks, because people looking like, driving trucks, that make good money. He was like, well, just keep it, so you can retire. You get that retirement. And I was thinking, how you know you're going to make it that long?
We have in our mind that we can do what we want to do. We on God's clock, though.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
So when you said that made me think about it. People be working on these jobs thinking, I got a couple more years and I'm going to retire.
Retire and do what I want.
What guarantees you that you going to make it?
We don't, and bro, that was, I think, like I said, that's what hit me the hardest with his death, because it's like you get to the finish line and you don't get to enjoy it.
Right.
And we all thought he was going to make it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, my whole family, man, we was just under the
impression. And that's the thing. And God's timing is not our time.
It's not our time. It's like, and that's why it can
that's
feel...
That's the scary part, too.
It can feel unfair, and it feels
exactly.
Cool, but to God, hey, that's the time I had for you.
Yeah, that's all I had.
That's all I had for you. Be happy with it.
What did you do with it?
What did you do with it? that dash after your birth, that dash in between is the most important thing.
You know, because my daughter, she graduated high school with honors, but her mom died.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When she was in the 9th grade. And me and her mom was married 12 years.
See? Yeah.
And I was like, dang, she didn't even make it, like, past 36.
Damn.
She died at 36.
That's crazy.
And I was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never knew that would happen.
Yeah.
So, like, when we go back.
Don't plan for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it woke me up to think, man, what if somebody else around me got short time and I'm taking it for granted?
Nah, that's why I do my best. I'm not a phone person.
Yeah.
But I do my best to answer calls.
Yeah.
Or get back to you, even if it's a text. Because, I can take that person's time for granted. Or I'm taking mine for granted. Oh, I'm going to hit you back when I get finished doing this. Who's to say that's going to happen?
And even with your story, with what you just said with your uncle and your dad, that's why I go out to eat with my dad. I go to the house. My dad's a hunter. You know, he's a country guy.
Yeah.
You know, we sit around, we talk. He cut up squirrels, deer.
Yeah.
We sit at home, we talk. Because I'm like, there's memories. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to my dad. And, like, on my vacation, I'm taking my mom with me. You know what I'm saying? Because it dawned on me. I was like, man, mama raised us all these years. She ain't never been nowhere. So I was like, I told my mom, I was like, hey, this year when we go on vacation, I want you to come.
Yeah, that's
just
real.
Pack you a bag. It's all on me. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, yes, I love that. And I was thinking, man, I want to create memories with my mom.
That's
and stuff.
a fact. One of my fondest memories of my mom was, this was my birthday. This might have been like 2012, 2013, but flew her out to Miami with me. That's when I was staying out there. And I celebrated my birthday with her and my now wife. She was my girlfriend at that time. But I celebrated my birthday. It just felt good to have them, especially have my mom in a different setting, a new environment. Just enjoying each other, and just whatever I can do for her, or whatever, man. It just matter because, like I said, as we go back, she's the real MVP.
For sure, like telling your story, mom's made a real life changing decision at that moment. She could have sent
that shit back. I was like.
And where would you have probably been?
I don't know. I always think about that, and I just think that's why that's so important in my story. I've never been able to tell that part of my story.
That's super dope.
She kept that keyboard. That shit changed.
And it's crazy that my mom did me like that too. Come to think about it, I used to sit in my room, bump loud music. I'm people rapping, and I'm in there doing stuff. Mom's never bothered me.
Cause you know what it is. What I'll tell anybody this. Well, I think what it is they'll rather know you home safe, doing something constructive, rather than out here running the streets, doing some dumb shit.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think,
I was safe.
Yeah, you was safe.
Too, and you was safe.
And I appreciate her for letting me express myself.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's dope.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't see it at first though, boy. Like. Just, when I first started doing it, like, a lot of people was like, why you doing this?
It really takes something for somebody to believe in you when you ain't produced no results, really.
I haven't did nothing. It's all word of mouth.
Right. That's like deep.
My mom's faith was crazy because she's just like, boy, you really want to do this, don't you? I said, hell yeah. I mean, that's all I think about. That's all I see. That's all I see. I'm the happiest when I'm in my creative space.
Exactly.
And
that's so dope that you said that. Because even like with this, man, like everything you see, man, it's made me happy.
You did your big one.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is like the baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I got to talking to you and stuff, And my wife really pushed me out. Yeah. She made me like saying, jump off the porch.
Yeah.
Because I had all this at home just sitting up collecting dust. And she was like, you know, you got all this stuff. When are you going to ever do something with it?
Use it.
And I was like, dang. Time's slipping away.
It is.
When am I going to do it?
Well, you got to, that's the thing. Can't play with this shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And this is your calling.
Yeah, it really is. Because I feel good about it.
You know what I mean?
And it's coming together. Yeah. And guess what? I'm not in a bind.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
So this was my purpose.
All right, I know you just said just a year ago you haven't made your money yet from it. Wait till this shit start making your money.
Right.
Bro.
People gonna be looking back like, cause look, even now, people don't even know. Like when the open mic was going on, I was down there with the cameras.
I remember that. Yeah.
Shout out to Shy G.
Yeah, Shy G, man. What's up, man? Yeah.
I seen him the other day.
What's up, Shy, man?
Yeah,
that's my boy. No lie, I ain't even trying to cut you off. Shout out to Shy G, man, because you know, I remember when I started the open mic, or whatever. It took people to believe in it. You know, when I did that shit, I never asked for $1.
Wow.
Never. I never hit Red and was like, hey, Red, what you paying me this weekend? Look, I was selling beats a little bit on the side, whatever. So I was already kind of like not tripping.
Right.
But I never asked him for $1, a dime off of the dough, nothing. Wow. And I feel like that's why God blessed me the way he did.
Yeah.
I was really, my goal, I just got tired of the bullshit out here.
Yeah.
And I got tired of just hearing bad news all the time. Niggas doing this, or people doing that. I ain't just gonna say niggas, but just people. I always looked at it like people bored. They need an outlet.
Right.
So when I came up with the idea for the open mic, it was more so to give artists an outlet to express themselves on a Sunday night, and they got somewhere to be. Where they looking forward to being here.
Yeah.
So they gonna stay out of trouble all week so they can come and perform their music and express themselves, be heard, and hey, opportunity might come from it. But for me, it was more of that. I didn't care about the money. The money was my relationship with money is crazy. It's like I like what money can do, but I don't love it.
That's true.
I like what it can do. Yeah. I like that it can help me create memories, but I don't care about money the way. You have to forget
about the money, because if you keep focusing on it, it's going to eventually lead you to a dark place.
I swear. And money has always chased me because of the reason that I'm saying. Like, I just, I have a check in the mail. Don't even know it. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, I feel like that's why God blessed me, because I've never been, like, money first.
Yeah, Shy was one of the main ones down there.
That's why I'm getting my bad. Yeah. That's why I was getting to. When I tell you that nigga Shy put on a show every weekend, and what it did for the open mic.
Yes,
bro, I can't
And he embraced me when I came there. And I saw him the other day, and we was talking about it. Yeah, and I was like, dude, you really is the homie for real. Like,
he really is. He a cool nigga, man. Yeah, I love Shy, man. That's
what nigga. I was just thinking about, bro? What's that? It's crazy how God work, man. Mm-hmm. Had you not started that open mic, I wouldn't be here.
Hey, come on.
Think about this for a second.
That's crazy.
Because when you started the open mic, because I did beats, people was encouraging me, like, come down here, man. You're like, yeah. So I started going down there, and I'm seeing the artists perform. Yeah. I got my camera.
Yeah.
And then, what happened was, I got the camera, started filming. Red was like, I tell you what, dude, get you a photo booth over here and set up. I ain't going to charge you nothing just to get yourself out there. And that was my big moment on getting out there. But if open mic would have never been created,
man,
I never would have did that.
Hey, I used to get hated on so much with that shit because I was taking business from other shit because of that. But I mean, what I learned early on at that during, just me having the vision to help niggas get out the street in a sense.
Yeah.
You can't stop what God got.
That's crazy, man.
You can't stop what God, because look, like what you just said.
Exactly.
I didn't, a lot of people didn't even really, I mean, some know, don't get me wrong, but they didn't know I started that shit.
Nah.
You know what I mean? But that was my idea. I brought it to Red. Red believed in it. But I never was like, all right, Red, since we doing this, I need this much every weekend. Nah, because at the end of the day, man, I ain't gonna lie, I just always knew, like, eventually I'm finna be doing something else. Soon. I don't know when, but soon.
But see, that it goes in about where we plant our seeds. Mm-hmm. See, a lot of people don't even know, man, shout out to Red, because, see, a lot of people don't even know how he got that stuff. You don't know how much he done helped.
Exactly. He believed in that.
Exactly.
That idea
he believed in me.
I'm like, okay, all right, Red. Well, let's like he always say, make it count.
Exactly.
Make it count then.
Yeah, he said that. So he believed in what I was doing, and he was pointing me like, do this, and I'm like, in the long run, it like he looked back on it. And he saw me the other day when he was like, remember I was telling you to do that? I was like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So like, man, it's crazy how God do things,
work, man. It's like his design is grand. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I say I was just.
So everything that God put in you to do, man, you never know how it's changing somebody's life.
Don't know what exactly. And I just got tired of the book. Like literally hearing bad news and robbery.
Because we really need something like that again.
That's what's needed. That's what's needed.
Because it's getting crazy.
It's getting crazy now because niggas bored. Niggas what they say about the idle mind is the devil's playground? Yeah. That's what it is. Niggas ain't got nothing to do.
Right. And it's actually done got bad again.
Man, who you
so we gotta do something else.
Yeah, that's what made me do that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, I'm deep into the music shit, but I'm just like, man, I never hosted shit.
Yeah.
I'm up here with a microphone. Man, I'm so far, but I don't do that. But some guy put it in me to just like, man, hey, let's just create an outlet.
Yeah.
Because I would try to stay far away from the microphone as I could.
And then it's crazy. Nobody's been able to really do it since you did it.
Bro, niggas was hating on that shit.
Dang.
Bro. I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to take no money from y'all.
No.
I'm focusing on the artists. Just so happened in TK, I guess a lot of the artists are the niggas that be in y'all clubs and shit. And I don't care about this shit like this. Yeah. But I care about the artists. I care about people staying out of trouble.
And really, you trying to show them the light. You got to keep motion. You got to get a light on you because you never know who's showing up. You ever know who's seeing it.
Never.
So, because I was watching it down there, I'm like, man, there's people from Little Rock, Dallas coming.
There used to be some people coming in.
Yeah, it was people coming in.
Like
celebrities was coming, too.
I just was like, damn, it's really just seeing it, what it was doing. And, I'm seeing all these new faces in the crowd every night, every other night. And I'm just like, damn, this is really what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't. I knew what my goal was. My approach to it was genuine.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
Trying to give niggas something to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Trying to give niggas something to do, man. Don't do no negative shit out here, man. Try to keep it positive. So.
Man, well, I'll tell you what, man, I really enjoyed this episode.
Likewise, man.
Man, I really enjoyed you stopping too, man.
Likewise,
my brother,
man.
big brother, man.
You know what I mean?
Knucklehead. Y'all can find him on Facebook. It's Samuel Irvin.
Yeah.
But this is a big time platinum producer right here, man. He's just a humble guy. But a lot of stuff y'all been listening to, it came produced by him, you know what I'm saying? But right now, I think one of his latest projects is with Trapboy Freddy. So y'all keep on.
We got a lot coming.
Got a lot coming.
Man.
But man, I tell you what, it's been a blessing for you to come and stop by
Likewise,
DJ
bro.
Popcorn Podcast. And man, we going up
yes,
from here, man. And I appreciate all the advice and everything you done gave and how we talk. We still gonna talk.
It's
just an everyday thing. It's natural.
We do this.
This is what we do.
We just now putting it in front of the camera.
Exactly.
And talk on the phone all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, y'all stay tuned. And if you're not following me, go ahead and follow me too on Facebook, De'Aris Jackson Sr. I'm also on YouTube /DJ Productions 11313, and we got more content coming for you. Stay
Knuck
tuned.
the World.
Knuck the World.
Knuck the World. That's KNUCKDA World.
That's right.
On Instagram and on what's the other shit? Damn, I can't think of the other one. It's Threads.
Threads, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Y'all keep up with me. You stay tuned on another Popcorn Podcast.
Yes.